Please go ahead.
Thank you, sir.
I hope everyone has joined. Can we start?
Yes, sir, we will start.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you. It's a matter of great honor and privilege for me to be a part of this wonderful day. It's the first time that I'm meeting you all on an occasion like this. At the very outset, I would like to place on record the wonderful work being done by Dmet Samvaad. I have been told that a lot of wonderful themes have been selected by them, and otherwise also as part of this um, institute and in the maritime domain, they have been contributing significantly. In fact, they have proved themselves to be a quintessential element, bringing the maritime community together. I'm sure that cadets and all of us in this process will gain immensely in sharing our thoughts and also experiences as related to the maritime domain. I think in their quest to do all good that is possible, Dmet Samvaad has also continuously been highlighting important themes that need to be addressed and debated by the maritime community. And these sessions, I'm sure, are extremely relevant for the cadets who are going to be future leaders in the maritime domain, managing its myriad paradigms. I am particularly impressed with the themes being selected by them as part of Women's Day, moving from the theme breaking from bias in the maritime industry, which was the topic selected last year, to the topic this year, which is embracing equity in the maritime industry. In our culture, greatest respect has always been given to women from times immemorial. As a mother or as a professional or as a friend or as a head of any organization, women contribute significantly, quietly, and attributes of compassion, forbearance are quite adept in, they are also quite adept in handling several challenges simultaneously with poise and strength. I'm sure all of us appreciate these and many more of the qualities in any woman very deeply, and we respect that. Hence, this theme of embracing equity in the maritime industry is not only important, but it is also highly relevant in contemporary world. We all know that from for quite some time, it's quite paradoxical that at one point in time we had the greatest respect for women. They were more or less leading, this entire world. And over a period of time, there have been some aberrations, and things have become a little unacceptable. It is for us to make sure that things are put on the correct platform, and right directions are given uh, for us to move forward, not only as a nation but also as a world community. Eminent women who are sitting here themselves are examples of the kind of levels that they have reached and the kind of contributions that they have made, it is just staring at us for us to recognize, appreciate, and also emulate. So all of us will need to appreciate that the maritime domain is highly interdisciplinary. It has several paradigms where all kinds of skills and capabilities are required, and sea itself baffles us in many ways, and anyone who goes to the maritime sphere is faced with such challenges where things like attributes such as perseverance, patience, skills, ability to take on stress, etc., are very much the order of the day. And I can tell you with reasonable certainty, as I've seen in the armed forces as well, several women have risen to such challenges and are doing extremely well. So it is important for us to recognize as we step into the maritime world, especially the cadets who will be there in a few years from now. Maybe the final year students will be there, very much there. You'll have to appreciate that each one of us has the same place in the things that are in the scheme of things. Whoever is capable will need to be given the right position, and we'll need to work in a manner that all of us are treated equally. This is the most important thing, and this is the thing, probably the focus of this topic. If we are not able to, if you don't do that, it's not going to be good for us and for the nation, because the nation building is all about giving equal opportunities to men and women. And it is high time we recognize all the skills that are there in women, and they are far more capable in virtually in all areas. And opportunities, whenever they are given to them, they invariably excel. This is something that we need to bring back into our society. And we would very much know for sure that, and we all know and appreciate the fact that any nation that has respected women has always moved forward. And it is high time that we not only respect women, but we also make sure that equal opportunities are given to them. This is one of the most important things that we need to recognize in the maritime domain. More so because it is, the sea itself is almost, it is considered as mother. So one of the important things, the rivers, seas, etc., is itself are themselves considered as women. So it is more important for us to, and on board a ship, we also call a ship as, she. So respecting women and giving opportunities, therefore, should be an intrinsic part of our culture. And on this note, I would request all cadets and students who are stepping into the maritime world to keep this in mind and make sure that you follow this simple thing that everyone should be given equal opportunities. If we have to succeed as individuals, as a community, as a society, and also as a nation. So I wish this debate and this discussions all the very best, and I'll hand over to the organizer for taking it forward. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring words. Good evening, everyone. Women have assumed surveyors and captains. Yet, we are very still far from providing an end. As Michelle Obama said, there is no limit to what we. Am I audible?
Anna, you can switch off the video. I think it would be better.
Am I audible?
Yes.
You're audible.
Okay, am I audible? We are very sorry for the technical glitch. There are some network issues we are facing today. So I would like to thank our director, sir, for his welcoming words. Now, I would like to start our today's session with a topic in our mind. Women have assumed maritime leadership positions such as CEOs, bankers, lawyers, surveyors, and captains. Yet, we are still very far from providing and ensuring equal opportunities for all. As Michelle Obama said, there is no limit to what we as women can accomplish. Now, I would like to take this opportunity to introduce our panelists. Starting her career with the Shipping Corporation of India, Captain Radhika Menon became a prominent cadet of the Indian Navy. In 2012, she appointed as captain and became the first ever female captain of the Indian Merchant Navy. She is also the first woman in the world to receive the IMO Award for exceptional bravery at sea. But it's our misfortune that today we cannot have her over here because she is on board and due to network issues, she is not being able to join the session. Next on our panelist, we are lucky to have Ms. Sonali Banerjee ma'am, the first Lady Marine Engineer of India. She has sailed for 7 years before clearing the Chief Engineer license. Thereafter served with MSc as a Manning Superintendent and currently serving as the Director of Navigation and Operations at the Indian Register of Shipping. And last but not the least, on our panelist, we have Ms. Shalika Sheikh, who is the founder and CEO of Dynamic Marine Solutions and head coordinator of Maritime Union of India, Women's Wing. She is also marked as one of the top 100 women in shipping. Now, keeping this in mind, I would also like to invite Sri Ishwara Arun Kishore Sir, DMT pass out of 2001, roll number 5020. Having a vast experience of this industry as a seagoing engineer till 2012. Pursuing his technical interest, he joined the School of Maritime Design and Research, erstwhile NSDRC Vishakhapatnam, as a scientist C. Currently also pursuing a PhD in shipboard LNG storage. Sir, we request you to unmute and shed a light on the audience about today's session, sir. Please.
Thank you, Prerna, for the wonderful introduction. Good evening, Madam Sonali. Madam, nice to see you. Madam Ms. Sheikh, thank you for accepting the invitation and joining us and gracing the occasion. We are very happy to say that now we are about say 60 lady cadets in the IMO Kolkata campus, and the numbers are growing. You know, it is spreading by word of mouth, and it so happened coincidentally that today the BW scholarships are being extended to I think 10 more girl cadets, and there was interviews happening quite late till 4:30, and I'm very fortunate to have facilitated them. And I have been hearing the discussions, which the questions being asked to the girl cadets, why they chose the career and all. I have got very good inputs and a new dimension altogether. I think sharing all those things would be fun, but definitely I think we would be keen on listening from the panelists. I'm very happy that our director has taken over. He's Rear Admiral Rangachari PJ. He has taken over as director from 27th February of IMO Kolkata, and he'll be spearheading the IMO Kolkata for the next 5 years. And we are very fortunate to have him, an experienced naval officer, and himself holding PhD in instrumentation and controls. So I think we have a wonderful vertical coming up, because under his leadership he's trying to establish the research vertical also in the maritime, and he's motivating I mean all the cadets equal, or definitely that girls are also there in the team. And it's really fun watching actually a lot of active participants, you know, in the way of say either it is the training or research or even academics. We are very fortunate to have a large girl cadets at our institution. Thank you, Prerna Ghosh. I think we are eager to listen from our panelists now. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your enlightening words. We are grateful for your presence. Now, I would like to start the panel discussion by requesting the panelists to share their present-day lady cadets and the audience what inspired them to join the maritime industry and their motivation to keep going on when facing challenging odds. I request Sonali Banerjee ma'am to kindly unmute herself.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Am I audible? Okay, so
Yes,
it is
ma'am, you're
always such an intense emotional moment every time I come back to the DMT alumni base, I mean, as a part of the alumni, it's so good to connect with the cadets. And this time when I came for the alumni meet, I think that was after a very long time, and it was, I mean, I was really very touched to come back to the campus and, to understand that the bond of the alumni along with the present day cadet still exists as we had left them, long way back when we left the college. And I think most of the people in the panel, they are not new to me. I am not new to them. I mean, we have attended many sessions together. So after 12th standard, I was like any other 12th standard pass out, like wondering what to do with life and, considering your own passions and the arenas that you could possibly be good at. And I think I chose merchant navy because I was very passionate to go with the profession that was not a typical, desktop job. I was interested in doing something technical, but at the same time, I wanted the job to give me some adventurous opportunities. So I thought merchant navy was the best bet to go ahead with that. I think I've been very fortunate that, merchant navy has given me a lot of platforms to be able to prove my capabilities that, as a girl, they could embrace me with open arms and, they gave us a lot of parallel seatings along with the guys, that because that time when there was nobody around, it was a difficult decision, not just for me to join, but also the people who were in key positions to accept me first in the college, then out at sea, then when as you start progressing in your career, you clear your licenses, then you reach higher up in the management level. So it was a road which was not traveled before. So just the way it was difficult for me, it was difficult for the industry people also to accept. But I think it has all happened, and the numbers that we have reached today speaks for itself. That journey undertaken, though with a lot of difficulties, what was every mile worth the effort that was there. Thank you.
Ma'am, your journey is truly unique and full of inspiration. Many of the aspiring seafarers, both boys and girls, look up to you today. Thank you again for joining us, ma'am. Now I request Ms. Shalina Sheikh, ma'am, to unmute herself and address the gathering.
A very good evening to all of you present today. Special wishes to Rear Admiral Rangachari ji and Mr. Eswara, to my very dear colleague Sonali, and all the participants today. It is such a pleasure to be a part of this gathering, and more so to see so many girls present here. And it's really nice to know that we have over 60 girls in the institute today. That's, I think, a very, very high number by all standards. And of course, it's just the beginning. I think every year we are going to grow more and more. This is compared to what I have seen earlier. Fortunately, I have been in this industry since the past 5 years. I mean, when we set up the women's wing at the Maritime Union of India, this was 5 years back, and we've just completed 5 years this year. So that time, the girl cadets were a very rarity. They were very few, and they were just in between, and they were just getting into the industry. And the many times when I used to speak with the shipping companies, why aren't we employing women seafarers? And they used to say that we don't have a policy to do that. But in these 5 years, with all the efforts of all our friends and colleagues in the industry, it has changed. And it's amazing to see the way women have come forward, the way women seafarers are doing so well for themselves. And I'm sorry, I'm talking about this in particular because it is International Women's Day, and we are trying to address, the challenges that women seafarers face, and how in the industry it has been such an improvement over the years. So coming back to my journey, my husband is a master mariner, and for all the years that he was sailing, I always felt that there has to be a support system, a community group for the families of seafarers, because I felt the need. I mean, I had never intended to join the maritime industry, but I had a vision of having a community support group. And with that thought in mind, I had approached the Maritime Union of India for setting up a special department to look into welfare of seafarers and their families. And they were very welcoming. And it took some time because I initially went in 2008, and they said they will think about it, but somehow it did not materialize. And in 2016, again, I approached them and they said, yes, we will definitely look into this. And finally, in 2017, the Women's Wing at the Maritime Union of India was set up. And with that started another journey, which also pulled me into the maritime industry. And through that department, I have been working not only for families of seafarers, but for women seafarers, for their rights. And as a union, we have a lot of things that we work with respect to, complaints and grievances that come to us. So it's been a wonderful journey so far, and what I'm really happy to see is the improvement in all these years. With the way the government and the ministry and DG Shipping have been so proactive in supporting women in the maritime industry, and it's been a collective effort. We cannot say that it's a one organization or an individual's initiatives, but it's a collective effort. So I'm very happy to be here with you all, and this is my initiation into the maritime industry. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your words. Although the number of women seafarers has seen a rapid growth in the past years, there are still challenges that the lady sailors have to share their views on the various potential challenges in the maritime for aspiring lady seafarers and how to overcome them. Sonali ma'am, may I request you to start the session?
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Yeah, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak on this topic. Before I proceed, I would like to bring to everybody's attention that seafaring is a career which has all along been a very challenging career. If you are looking for a regular desktop job, then I can till date tell you that this is not the place that you are looking for. Secondly, there are challenges for not just women but for men also. You ask the men who have been out at sea, maybe they never made so much of noise about it, but there are challenges for them. If you're talking of harassment, there has been harassment for them also. There has been harassment for girls. Only then there could be an additional aspect of sexual harassment. But then that is something which anybody and everybody can be subjected to. When it happens, you have to deal with it firmly. But then when you decide to come out at sea, you must have the right mindset. This I try to tell everybody, whichever girl is planning to join, that you have to understand that you are not landing up in a space where everybody is out there to damage you or harm you. It is a professional place. You are there, everybody is there to work. There is a certain industry need because of which the ships are plying, and you are there to do your role. As long as you are able to do your role properly, there should not be many questions or many fingers which will be pointed out to you. However, it goes without saying that be it a boy or a girl, you have to do your duties well. That is the first criteria which will give you a platform and the sustainability. Challenges are there for boys as well as for girls. For girls, I feel that, having been in the industry, I was kind of practically born and brought up in the industry. A long time now. So, and I have not seen any other industry. This is the only industry I have known, I was brought up into. So, looking at that aspect, I feel the only additional factor which as a girl you may have to face at times is that when and if at all you decide to start a family. Not everybody have to start a family. I'm not saying that, but if at all, some of those who opt to get into that way. So that time, I think because by virtue of the nature of the job, it is such that if you have to be a seafarer, then you have to be out at sea. If you have to be out at sea, that you get kind of disconnected with the social landlocked systems. So you have to find a way out. But fortunately, current scenario, there are a lot of sure opportunities are there by which you will be able to keep your career and keep growing into it. So some of the decisions have to be taken a little early. That, it's like if you go at the war front, then you don't expect to be treated, the way a girl is sitting at home might be expected to be treated. There are challenges of that place, there are challenges of that ecosystem itself. So unless you are prepared to handle all that, I don't think for any boy or a girl, it doesn't matter. Seafaring is definitely not for the very weak-hearted. You have to be on your toes. You have to have all the tenacity and determination, because it is a kind of ecosystem which can land up into an emergency at any given point of time. You cannot compare it with like a typical IT professional or a banking job. You have to work under limited resources. Everything is very limited over there. It is not like there is a problem and you make a phone call or there is an emergency helpline. You have to create everything there for yourself. That also means that people may not be in the best of state of mind at all points of time. Sometimes people react to situations, and there has to be also a little bit of maturity how you deal with the whole situation. Your shipmates would be your best buddies to reach out to. Try to have very good bonding with them. Try to have such kind of rapport that people around are able to trust you and you are able to trust them.
Thank you, ma'am.
I can go on speaking on this for very many hours, but I think we need to stop here.
Yeah, no, ma'am. Actually, we are in a shortage of time. That's why I also.
Yeah, of course, I understand that. Respect that.
Ma'am, now I would like to request Shalika Sheikh, ma'am, to kindly unmute herself and share her thoughts on the same topic.
Thank you, Prerna. Like Sonali said, challenges are going to be there and you have to learn to work around them. The very fact that most of you have, come forward, I think half the battle is won, because you are that select few who has taken up this profession, which is a very challenging profession by all means, not just for women, but for in general. So the very fact that you have chosen, that means you have already broken so many barriers. You have, shattered the barriers that you face at home, with society, because we all know that the kind of biases that we have in our society when it comes to girls stepping out and working, especially in male-dominated sectors, previously male-dominated sectors, no more. Now, of course, it's a level playing field. So you have already been braving that and you have reached here. So you're already resilient and you are already a strong person. And so the few things that you will face, they are all something that you can just learn to work around with. I mean, we hear things about how sometimes women seafarers, sometimes they are the only ones on board amongst 15 to 20 odd other seafarers, the men seafarers, and sometimes isolation can be a problem. So these are things that you have to deal with and understand how to go about it, and it's not something difficult. First and foremost, you have to understand that you have to create the comfort level amongst each other at sea. The thing is that even the persons who are working with you, they are all also not very comfortable working with women seafarers. So the ice needs to be broken there. And you have to understand that they also may have never worked with a women seafarer, so they're also going to find it difficult. So that is where you have to break that ice and make it comfortable. And at the same time, you should know which lines not to cross. I think as far as you are clear on those standards, it should be all right. And we have some amazing women seafarers who are already talking about how professionally they have been going around and they have not had any issues whatsoever. And yes, of course, there are challenges that come, that there will be times when you will be faced with some kind of harassment. Also because of the fact that you're a woman, so you will be also taunted at times that, you are not special. So that's fine. As far as your work speaks for yourself, there is no reason somebody should complain. Yes, when things go out of hand, then there are ways to deal with it as well. All right. So these kind of challenges are there. And then yes, one major challenge, you being a woman, God has made you a woman, and your biological clock is there. You will you everybody wants to get married and start a family. So those kind of challenges are there, in the sense that this is part of your life. It's not something that is new to anybody, but it's just that how you plan it, how you go about it, how you deal with it. So I think, if you are strong, confident, and you know what you want, you have a strong vision of yourself, where you want to be 5 years down the line, you plan it accordingly, you discuss it with your to-be spouse. Having an understanding husband is extremely important. Having an understanding family is important. You sit with them, talk to them that this is what you intend to do, and have everybody on the page. I think that is extremely important. And it's not easy. Nobody said it would be easy. When you took up a career like this, you have already decided that you're going to brave the seas. I think what more can you ask for? I mean, you are out there at sea, braving braving all kinds of storms, all kind of disasters, everything. You're there. That step that you have taken, then you should be able to handle any kind of storms in your life. So I think challenges are not something that you need to at all worry about. Just be strong and confident at all times.
Yes, ma'am. This is very inspiring. It is true that embracing equity in the maritime industry is an achievable goal that will bring tremendous benefits. It will create a level playing field, create an inclusive and diverse industry, and drive innovation. I want to thank our panelists, Ms. Sonali Banerjee, Ms. Shamia Sheikh, for sharing their insights and experiences with us today. We are truly grateful for your time and expertise. This brings us to the conclusion of today's Dmet Samvaad session. I know we were not ready for the session to get over so soon, but since Sonali ma'am also said that she is having an engagement at 5:40, so we are here at the conclusion of the session. Yes, ma'am, you want to say something?
Yeah. Before we conclude, I just have a short thing to say that I have a slide that I would like to share, and this is something that I had created for myself, and I want all of you to have a look at it and take inspiration from it. This is not just for me, it is for everybody. You can create your own vision board. It's basically a vision board, and all of you can create your own vision board, and it's extremely powerful. If you make a board like this and put it up in your study, or even on your phone, and you look at it every day and read those messages, whatever, it can be anything that you want to achieve in life. That kind of a vision, I mean, it reminds you day in and day out, this is where I want to be. This is the success I want to create for myself. This is the life that and it will all manifest by the grace of God. Everything will manifest, because we all have our goals, we have our dreams, but sometimes we don't know how to get there. But having that clarity that this is what I want to do, and having it set up and put it up in front of you and looking at it every day and feeling good about it, this is where I want to be. This is what I want to do. This is what I am. I am already, if you start talking in the future that, okay, look, I am I am a captain, I am a chief engineer. You start talking like that to yourself. Those are called affirmations. They will really help you. So as students, I really wanted to share this with you. I request Prerna to please share it with all of you. And thank you so much for inviting me here and letting me share my thoughts as well. A big congratulations to all of you, and belated International Women's Day wishes as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. I'll surely be sharing the stuff, that presentation with everyone. Ma'am, I am also grateful that every one of us got to know the life experience and lessons of such eminent personalities, which will help and guide the cadets not only in the maritime field but rather in numerous aspects. Through training, visibility, recognition, we aim to support a barrier-free working environment for women in maritime. Let's work to break down barriers and ensure that we create a work environment that is enabling, supportive, and inclusive of diverse participation by all, without hindrance in the maritime community. Together we reap the benefits and together we rise. Now I would like to request Karishrishta Mukherjee to deliver the vote of thanks for today's session.
Good evening, everyone. I am Kati Shushnata Mukherjee, roll number 9531 from 2021 to 2025 entry batch. Would like to take the order to present the vote of thanks on today's Samvaad session. On the occasion of International Women's Day, I would like to take a moment to extend my heartfelt gratitude to all the amazing women out there, especially the women seafarers who have fought against gendered stereotypes. I also extend my gratitude to Admiral P.J. Rangachari, Campus Director, Indian Maritime University, Kolkata Campus, Sri Ishwara Arun Kishore Sir, Assistant Professor at Indian Maritime University, Kolkata Campus, Miss Sonali Banerjee Ma'am, First Indian Female Marine Engineer, Class of 1995 to 99, Miss Shahila Sheikh Ma'am, Head Coordinator Women's Wing of the Maritime Union of India for gracing this gathering by sharing their experiences and their guidance. I would also like to thank Cadet Anna DM and Cadet Prerna Ghosh from the 2021 entry batch for hosting today's session. I would once again like to thank all the panel members for taking out time from their busy schedules and joining us here. On this prideful occasion of Women's Day, let us contribute to celebrate the achievements and promote the recruitment, retention, and sustained employment of women seafarers to accomplish this important milestone of recognition of women. Now, I would like to thank the DMET Samvaad team who has constantly worked behind the scenes to make today happen, composed of the pioneers of Samvaad, Harsh Sinha sir, roll number 8111, and Sachin Mahato sir, roll number 8202, from the class of 2016 to 2020, and the core committee composed of Sachin Saurav sir, roll number 8464, from the class of 2017 to 21, Abhishek Sahi sir, roll number 8553, from the class of 2018 to 2022, Vami Gastra sir, roll number 8997, Ritvik Kumar sir, roll number 8923, and my batchmates Ajay Raj Sharma, Anna DM, Arkia Baishya, Logeshwaran M, Piyush Ahirwar, Prerna Ghosh, Raghav Dhaka, Rustam Raj, Sonal Ash, and Yash Mukherjee. Last but not the least, I would like to thank all the cadets who attended today's session enthusiastically. Thank you all.
I think this is the first session that I'm attending, and I find it extremely enriching, mainly because of the the practical takeaways which the panelists have given to the cadets, and these are all coming from sea, and anything that comes from sea definitely merits attention. And the practical experiences that come from sea, they will continue to be so much and so different every time when it is heard. So this is a very important kind of discussion that I find is going to be extremely useful, thanks to both the panelists. And it is a very important thing on a important theme on International Women's Day, and it brings to the fore points that all of us have to take home in order to make sure that not only here in our society, but also when we have our lives at sea, you take care of all the important points that they gave us. We would like to thank both of you for sharing your valuable thoughts and experiences, particularly to the cadets. I'm sure they will benefit immensely, and any number of sessions like this in future, I'm sure it will be very useful to them. So please continue doing that for the benefit of all of us here. Thank you so much.
So Nidhi ma'am, you have raised a hand. You have something to say. The floor is yours.
No, I just wanted to thank everybody. I just wanted to thank Director Sir, Ishwar, Saleha, and the whole team of DMET Samvaad for inviting me to this sessions, and believe me, it is such a strong emotional homecoming time for me every time I connect with the cadets of IMO Kolkata DMET Marine. And just remember one thing, one concluding note I would like to say, that the workplace has got no gender to it. Always remember. As long as you perform, you are there to stay. Anything else doesn't really matter. The ecosystem, the dynamics are likely to change, but whosoever is there will be there only and only if you can be a performer. The workplace has got no gender to it. Thank you so much. And believe me, this is like life experience talking. It is not something I've read in the books. People will come, support you, and be with you in your mission as long as you understand that you are there as a professional to perform and do the duties. There will be people with you during your course of life. Thank you so much, and stay positive, and wish everybody a very happy International Women's Day. Belated though. And thank you again.
Thank you, ma'am. Ishwara sir, you have raised your hand. Do you want to say something?
Just to the panelists, actually, Miss Saleha madam and Sonali madam. Ma'am, whenever you are visiting Kolkata, please take a little bit of time, come to our campus.
Yes, yes.
Motivate them. Please motivate them. We'll be very grateful in hosting you here. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Yes, ma'am, you want to say something, Salika ma'am?
Yeah, thank you so much, Iswara sir, for the invitation. I will definitely, whenever I visit Calcutta, I would be very, very happy to visit the campus and meet all these students. I mean, these are the future of our country and future of our industry. So it would be nice to meet them. At the same time, tomorrow at the Women's Wing, we are having a webinar for women. So I would like to extend this invitation to all our girl students here. Please attend. I will share the details with Sushnata, and you can please join in tomorrow at 3 o'clock. It would be really nice to have you. Thank you so much. And thank you, Dr. Rangachari ji, for inviting us and having us here today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It's been wonderful for us to, both of you, be here. We are very happy.
Thank you, everyone. Since we are running out of time, so I would like to conclude the session over here. Thank you, everyone, for joining.